Music, music.
Do you believe that you can heal yourself? Too often, we give our power away to something outside of ourselves, and rarely, if ever, trust and tap into our innate healing power and intuition. Everyone has this capability to heal in ways we never thought possible. It's your sovereign right to claim and have true health and lasting wellness. Now, here is the host of the Dr. Dolores Show, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in our amazing universe, and welcome to another episode on the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, your host. So I got a question for you all. It's just like, the world's gone a little crazy right now, and it's just kind of cranked up a few notches. And what my question to you is this, when we're spinning and with all this uncertainty and rapid change and emotional overwhelm, how do we stay grounded in peace and presence? That's a great question. And, I'm hoping that after today's episode, I could give you some insight and some tools that will assist you with this. We are in, I always say this, interesting times here on planet Earth. And, my favorite saying is, you can't make this stuff up because you just can't. Some of the things that are happening are, I really feel that they're really testing us to see where we're getting triggered. And the beauty in all of this is that when we get triggered, we just go into react. And for some people, heads of government and stuff like that, I believe that they do that on purpose as a fact to distract you from what's actually their true agenda. So I want to just throw that out there for you because when we're getting triggered, we get so wrapped up into that we're reacting to what is happening in that moment with what's going on that we are being distracted from sometimes the underlying agenda of what other people might be wanting to do. It's like a way to get people out of the way of what other people want to do. So I am hoping that today's episode, Channeling Grace and Anchoring Peace in Turbulent Times, is going to be um, something that you're going to take in, you know, and embrace that within your life and yourself. When we are in uber chaos, like what we're witnessing outside in the external world, it really pulls at us. It really, takes us down a rabbit hole of, all this maybe fear, insecurity. It's really low vibrating frequency and energy. And it's like the righteousness, well, they can't be doing this and they shouldn't be doing this, and I agree. Yet sometimes the way to handle this is more from an energetic perspective than going into uh, react mode. And even though react mode is an energetic perspective, you're choosing to energetically respond in a lower vibrating capacity than if you're in a more observant, higher frequency and vibrating capacity. You're able to observe and witness what's happening. These are the times where it's just you pop the popcorn and watch the show moments. And I think we're having a lot of that right now because we are seeing, hearing, feeling this uncertainty, all the chaos and drama that's going on. And when we get in its lower vibrating frequency, this is what I want to tell you. When we get sucked into that, we are actually lowering our vibration and frequency so we fit into that. Okay. I'm going to offer you a different twist to this. Keep your frequency and vibration feeling higher. being higher, stay in a state of love, compassion, and allow the masses to you're pulling up the lower frequency to a higher vibration. Okay. I hope I've explained that well, but this is about you keeping your peace within yourself no matter what the heck is going on in the outside world. And trust me, there is a lot out there that is um, trigger worthy. But you know what? Please don't go there. It was interesting because, for many people know that I still practice in Western medicine, and I just happened to be at the hospital yesterday. And we were in the doctor's lounge having a conversation. I was working with a surgeon, and we were just chit chatting a little bit about what's been happening in Los Angeles with martial law was pretty much claimed by our commander in chief. And there's been a lot of fallout with that and a lot of pushback and, whatever that is. And this is not about getting political in any way. My show is not about that. Um, but it was interesting because I was chatting with this one surgeon and she was showing me pictures, and I really don't pay a lot of attention to what's kind of going on the outside because I don't listen to the news. If the news is on in a room that I'm in, I will either, if nobody's there, I'll turn the TV off and not listen to it or listen to music or a podcast or something like that. But in the room also was another physician who was actually an immigrant from the Ukraine. She's a physician from the Ukraine. And, with everything that's going on, and she was adding, her 2 cents to the conversation. And it was interesting because I could feel what she was experiencing because of her homeland and what's been happening over there. And what I did my best to fully listen and be fully present and not really get engaged, but to offer her, I said, I mean, no disrespect to what you are going through. I think it's horrific. I think I don't, I don't condone that behavior. And the thing is that I just am, appalled by that. And I said, how I handle this is that I just send a lot of love and compassion to that because and I could tell she was starting to feel really, worked up because of what's going on in the righteousness. And I said, this is what they want you to do because you're getting stuck in that energy. It's like, just do your best to observe from afar. And she couldn't understand why nobody's doing anything and nobody's speaking up. I said, because this is what's going on. A lot of people are raising their frequency, and this is what they're doing. And it's not like they're responding and not doing anything about it and allowing it to happen. It's just like sometimes when you interfere with what is happening, you pull your energy down and you're just adding more energy of that lower vibration. So sometimes it's easier just to back off, observe, and keep your vibration high because the only thing that you can control is you. And when you get that for yourself and get that concept, I feel you are going to have a greater impact on what's happening in our world. So, it was an interesting dialogue that, that we all shared together. And, you know, I really have a lot of respect for Vladimir, Valinsky. I think he's an amazing leader. I also love the Pope too. I think he's got great energy. And it'll be interesting to see what happens as these people who are coming on board with the higher frequency and vibration of what's to come in our world. So stay tuned and watch and observe. So, you know, I just want to talk about the state of the world and stuff like that. When there's so much upheaval, it really contributes to uh, conflict, social unrest, lots of anxiety. Not only, it affects the climate, believe it or not, because it's all energy. And the climate does respond to energy. So that's something to think about. And just the personal uncertainty of what we are all experiencing. So there's been no other time like this in the history of the world. This is like we are witnessing and living it right now. So, when we are in constant bombardment of information and emotional stimulation, energy shifts can easily pull us out of alignment. Okay. So, why it's important to really be grounded in yourself is essential because when you're grounded, and you're here right now vibrating at a higher frequency, remember that pool of consciousness that I always talk about? It's like this big pond of humanity. We call it collective consciousness. It's every thought, belief, and idea, whether we label it positive or negative, is there in that pool of water, that pool of fluid. And each one of us is a drop. So, who we are, how we see ourselves, what we've dealt with, our essence is in that drop. Guess what? When that drop goes into the pool of water, it ripples out. It affects that whole body of water. So, when we are able to, whatever you're thinking about, or whatever you're feeling about, or whatever you're projecting into that essence, that drop that is you, into that pool, and you're contributing to that collective consciousness. So it's like when there is like chaos going on in the world and you're getting sucked up into the chaos, your drop of water is that essence of that chaos, and you're contributing to more and more of it. So just take a deep breath right now. We are all contributing to what we are witnessing outside of ourselves. It may not be directly related, but it is. So, as spiritually conscious beings, we may be called to do something, yet often we feel overwhelmed and disempowered. What I'm going to say is that the real invitation is to anchor within, to really be certain within yourself. Know that no matter what is going on, you are in your power, in your strength. When you are able to anchor within, you find stillness and strength in our internal landscape and when the external world is in chaos. This is the key right here. It's to come back within ourselves. So when we let's talk a little bit about what grace really is, because I think grace sometimes is misunderstood. And, you know, I'm going to say people, when they think about grace, they think about spirits and spiritual elites and moments of dramatic rescue. But in truth, grace is a divine frequency that is always available to us. Okay. It's always flowing through the universe, waiting to be received. The key is we have to ask and channel that grace. Okay. To channel grace means to open your energy field, our hearts, minds, and bodies, to become vessels for this divine flow. It's not about, surviving or striving or controlling. It's about becoming receptive, humble, and in tune with something greater than ourselves. So just remember that grace is all around us. And we need to allow that to flow through us so that we could have a better understanding and a better connection with who we are. So we're getting ready to go on our first break, and you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about channeling grace in a chaotic world. So stay tuned.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody, and you're listening to another episode of the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And before our break, we were talking about the whole idea of grace and how we are in such need of that right now. And, just a reminder that grace is always there for us. It's just about us allowing it within ourselves. And I just want to say this here. We are spiritually conscious beings, and, sometimes we are called to do something, but often we feel overwhelmed or disempowered. The real invitation is to anchor within, to find stillness and strength in our internal landscape, even when the external world is in chaos. And let's face it, our world is in chaos, and it's not here in the US of A, it's globally. A lot of people are, um, we're going through massive changes, and it's almost like everything is shaking us to our core, but yet we could stand in our power and also allow the wisdom that's within ourselves to be our inner barometer. So, let's talk about maybe becoming a conduit, practicing grace, channel grace daily to practice this and have it part of your life. You know, Grace can be cultivated, not forced, but invited. So just invite that, set the intention that you want to experience more grace in your life because that energy and frequency is there for you. You just have to allow it to come into your life. How we do that sometimes, breath work is key, and I'll tell you why. Because when you take deep breaths, you're able to anchor into your body. When you're in your body, this is where you can channel that essence of grace. You have to be fully present in your body. Okay. Breath work is a great way to get you into your body. How many of us, when we're like wickedly stressed out, we just shallow breathe? You're like, you're not taking a deep breath. Whereas when you really, consciously take a deep breath and allow that breath to fully integrate into your body, you could feel yourself anchoring into the present moment. Okay. Sometimes when you're, having a panic attack, you're breathing shallow and you're remembering things from, you know, yesterday, what about tomorrow? But it's just like you're grounding your breath into your body so you could become more in the present moment. When you're in the present moment, this is where you're able to connect with the ability and the frequency of grace. Heart centered awareness. Sometimes when we're, you know, being triggered or being pulled out of our calmness, just place your hands over your chest and just, feel your heartbeat, because sometimes that's enough to slow you down and to ground you. People talk about, grounding rituals. I love the idea of walking barefoot on the earth. Funny story, sidebar. It's just like I gave up wearing socks when I moved to California 36 years ago, and I go barefoot a lot. I love, just being barefoot. It's just like it just feels good. It feels like I'm connecting with the earth. Also, salt baths, if you're into baths and stuff like that, or just being out in nature is a great way to ground you. When you're in a garden and you're just looking at, the flowers, but also the little animals that come by, it's like you can not be in the present moment and just enjoy what you're witnessing. So it's like allowing yourself to experience the present moment just as it is. And we talk about, mindfulness too a lot on my show, because I feel that that is like the gateway point to getting people into their physical body so they could be right here, right now. And mindfulness activities could be just sitting in silence, letting go of thought, and simply being open to receive. When we sit, when we do a mindful activity, we've all had those moments where we lose all sense of time and place, where 5 hours turns into 5 minutes, okay, or 5 minutes turns into 5 hours, however you look at it. It's like those moments where we lose all sense of time and place. It's like you're right here, right now, in the present moment. Nothing else matters. So it's anything that you can do that does that for you. And for some people, it's extreme as sitting in, formal meditation or chanting. And it could be as simple as doing an art project or gardening or something like that. My key thing that I want to share with you is just find out what is your mindful activity that's going to be the doorway that's going to allow you to go deeper within yourself. And the other thing too, we talk about ritual and setting sacred space. When we set an intention, when we're setting sacred space, invite grace to come in with intention. It could be through prayer, sound healing, or, candles, whatever is speaking to your heart, and just follow your instincts as how you want to honor that. The key is just being more attuned and to be able to feel the subtle guidance and the intuitive nudges and witness the divine synchronicities that happen with us, because this is where grace really comes in. So when we are aligning soul guidance in the midst of chaos, sometimes for people are like, well, what is that? When you're in fear, we often go into ego-based reactions. Okay, where we drop from being fully present in our body and we go whoop in our heads. And I love the visual image of those who've gone to the fair before. And there's this game called whack-a-mole. The mole comes up and you hit it with a hammer and it comes up someplace else. So you're doing this. This in reality is what um, React is in our world. It's like trying to control the chaos because it's often, you know, ego-based reactions. Control is an ego-based reaction. Defensiveness and despair are all ego-based reactions. Um, when we allow grace to enter into our world, it helps us align with our soul's perspective, a viewpoint that is often rooted in trust, timing, and wisdom. And it's like it's bringing that chaos and grounding it into our physical body and knowing that no matter what's going on over here, I'm okay. I'm going to be all right. So, I have some questions to ask, the audience. When we see what's going on in our world, do you react or do you pause and you kind of say, isn't that interesting? This is a very good indicator of where you are. Sometimes the awareness part is the key. Once you're aware that you're doing that and reacting, you could choose something differently. Case in point, yesterday, somehow when I got out to my car, my battery was dead. My car is only 2 years old, so I'm not really sure what the heck happened, but I had a funny feeling that I probably hit something on the way out of the car and it just drained the battery. So I kind of sat there and I was waiting for AAA to come. And, I was like, all right, it is what it is. I'm going to just have to be patient and know that they're going to come. And, it was really kind of interesting because I didn't go into react mode or panic mode or whatever. I was just like, all right, you know what? This is what it is. And it was like the most amazing experience because the guy came who was a battery expert and was as nice as can be and very, very connected. I could feel his energy, and it was just a great experience and positive all around. It couldn't have went better. Long story short, my battery recharged and my car started, and I was on my way. So it was like it created 2 hour window of okay, I could have been someplace else, yet I just sat there and did puzzles on my, my little phone and stuff like that to let the time go by. Yet it was actually probably a blessing in disguise because it was during rush hour, first of all. And if I traveled to go back to my home, it would have taken me well over an hour to get there. But by me just taking the time and the pause, just to be with what's going on and trust and do something different, I was able to drive home after that situation in less than 30 minutes. So, so there was definitely good things happening there, but it was interesting because I was kind of surprised at myself that I didn't react in a way that I probably would have like a few years ago. So when things are happening in your world, I'm going to ask you to kind of ponder these questions. What does my soul want me to see here? Okay. And what would Grace choose right now? Is this mine to carry or is it time to release? So many of us hang on to things that are so energetically outdated from who we truly are, but we're hanging on to those things for, God forbid, what if, what if, what if? Well, you know what? You throw it out, and if you need a new one, you get another one. It's just like it's not a big deal, and when you start realizing that, all right, you could create, manifest anything you need to in the moment, this is where grace comes in. So know that grace is not a temporary refuge. It's really a way of living. What living gracefully may look like is speaking with intention and kindness, even in tension, okay, when you're really being triggered. Making space for rest and reflection instead of constant doing. We've talked a lot about that on my show too. Choosing love over fear, especially when it's hard. I love this response that what would love do? What would love choose? And trusting divine timing instead of rushing to fix it. So we're getting ready to go on our next break. And you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we're talking about channeling grace in a chaotic world. Stay tuned, and we'll share a little bit more and put it all together for you in a guided meditation. So stay tuned.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And we've been talking about channeling grace in a chaotic world, a very timely episode for what is happening in our world, especially what's happening in the good US of A, where I reside. And I live in California, no less either. So it's been very interesting. I do my best not to listen to the news because energetically, I like sticking my hands in my ears and going, la, 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 can't hear you. And that seems to work best for me because I know no matter what's going on around me, I'm centered, grounded, and safe within myself. And that's all that matters. You know, it's like keeping your vibration high, your frequency high, because you actually are lighthouses for other people. Your essence will carry through. And it's not about lowering your vibration to fit into what's going on in the external world. It's about raising your vibration so the external world will come and vibrate up higher to the higher frequency. Okay. Remember, we were talking about, what grace is and, how we could integrate it into our lives. And, just a couple reminders. Grace can be cultivated, not forced, but invited. Okay. We talked about how we could do that through, different practices. And, because grace is an energy and a frequency, and it's a higher vibrating frequency. When we tap into grace, we're going to raise our frequency. Okay. And just focus on allowing yourself to receive information from within yourself. That means you have to be fully present in your body so you could hear and see and experience that. And just remember to ask inner questions when something goes awry in your life. It's like, just ask that question: what does my soul want me to see here, especially if you're getting triggered? Or maybe, would grace choose right now? Or you could also say, what would love choose right now? The other thing too is just a reminder: ask, is this mine to carry, or is it time to release it? And we talked a little bit about the energetic burden of hanging on to old things, ideas, beliefs, even relationships, people, jobs, homes that are no longer in an energetic alignment for where you are going. So sometimes it's time to release that stuff without trying to hang on to it. Okay. So just remember, grace is not a temporary refuge, it's a way of living. And just remember this too, that each one of us can be a lighthouse. We don't need to change the world by force. We transform it by frequency. And grace is the frequency of the new earth. Just take that in for a moment. We have more power and control than you could ever imagine. It's our frequency. Are we vibrating at a higher frequency where we're lighthouses and allowing people to come to the lighthouse to raise their frequency? Or are we dimming our lighthouse so we could fit in with what's happening energetically? Something to ponder. So I'm coming on to my most favorite part of my show is guiding meditations to integrate the concepts that we talked about and to allow the listeners to have an experiential process. And so they could take that in and own it as their own. So we're going to go into a guided meditation. It's called Channeling Grace, Anchoring Peace in Turbulent Times. So I just invite you to find a comfortable spot where you won't be disturbed for the next 5 to 6 minutes, and just allow yourself to take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Allow yourself to begin to arrive into this space, this moment, this breath. There is nowhere else you need to be, nothing to fix, nothing to carry. This is your time to return to the stillness within. So breathe in again, slowly, deeply. And as you exhale, allow your body to soften. Feel your shoulders relax, your jaw unclench, your chest open gently. Now, bring your awareness to the ground beneath you. Imagine roots extending from the soles of your feet down through the floor into the earth. With every breath, those roots deepen, connecting you with the calm, steady rhythm of the earth's heartbeat. Allow yourself to feel that rhythm. Feel yourself grounded, centered, supported. Now, bring one hand to your heart and breathe into that space, that sacred space in the center of your chest. As you breathe, whisper silently to yourself, I am open to grace. I allow grace to flow through me. Imagine now a soft golden light high above you, pure, warm, radiating, and loving. This is the frequency of grace. Infinite, wise, and always available. With your next breath in, invite this golden light to gently pour down into the top of your head. Let it wash through your mind, melting away overthinking, worry, and noise. Feel it flow down your neck, your shoulders, your arms and hands. This is the light of calm, of peace, of divine presence. Let it move now through your chest, into your heart, illuminating every inner sanctuary. Let that light gather and glow in your heart space like a warm flame. With every breath, this golden light expands, filling your body, your energy field, until you are held in a soft, radiant cocoon of grace. Now, in the quiet of this space, listen. What does your soul want to say to you right now? What gentle wisdom is waiting beneath the noise? Allow grace to speak. It may be a word, a feeling, a memory, or just stillness. Whatever you receive, trust it. Breathe it in and let it anchor into every cell of your being. Now affirm the following: I am a channel for grace. I walk with peace, even in chaos. I carry the light and I am never alone. Take a few more deep, nourishing breaths and feel your feet rooted, your heart glowing, and your energy clear. And when you're ready, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing your awareness back into the room, back into your body, bringing grace with you. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes and let this peace stay with you. Let grace guide you. So we're getting ready to go on our next break. So I'm going to leave you in this quiet. And you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we've been talking about channeling grace in a chaotic world. So stay tuned and we'll share more after our break.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. We're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. Dr. Dolores Fazzino here. I'm a medical intuitive, energy whisperer, and the host of the Dr. Dolores Show. And if you enjoyed today's episode, did it touch your heart, brought you clarity, or helped you reconnect with your inner peace? We'd love for you to support us by doing the following things. Like the episode, it helps others find the content and lets us know what resonates with you. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss a moment of soul wisdom, spiritual insight, and empowering tools for your personal awakening. And most importantly, don't forget to leave a comment below. We'd love to hear how grace is showing up in your life and what topics you'd like to see on future episodes of the Dr. Dolores Show. Together, we are creating a conscious community of light bearers and change makers. Your presence matters, And we are so grateful you're here. So thank you for tuning into the Dr. Dolores Show. Until next time, keep anchoring in peace and following your soul and allowing grace to lead the way. So let's talk about some takeaways from today's show. Remember that grace is always available. It's not something you have to earn. It flows naturally when we surrender, soften, and open to higher guidance. Okay? Because grace is a higher vibrating frequency. We have to allow it to come into our life. It's always there. We need to raise our frequency to tap into it. Okay? And just by asking for grace, it's automatically going to raise your frequency. Okay? You are a conduit for divine energy. By grounding and staying present, you can channel grace into every moment, decision, and interaction. Remember that stillness is the gateway. Moments of pause, breath, and silence help us move beyond chaos into clarity. It's not about reacting, it's about observing and witnessing. Soul alignment brings peace. When you follow your soul's voice instead of reacting to external noise, you step into grace-filled living. Grace is a lifestyle, not a moment. When we integrate grace into our daily life, it helps us become a stable force in an unsteady world. So I'm just going to leave you with some closing thoughts here. When the world feels fast, uncertain, overwhelming, grace invites you to slow down, reconnect with what's eternal, not external, eternal within yourself. You don't need to have all the answers. You simply need to be present, willing, and open. Grace doesn't require perfection. It only asks for presence. Let today's conversation be your reminder that your inner sanctuary is always within reach. So I'm going to leave you with a quote by Brené Brown. I love Brené Brown. Her stuff is amazing. I love how she's able to talk about having conversations with other people, mostly difficult ones as well. Grace means that all of our mistakes now serve a purpose instead of serving shame. So I know that was a lot to wrap your brains around, and I really love the topic of grace because I know for me, I do my best to have that essence of grace around me as often as I can. And sometimes you just have to remember to ask for that. So next week on the Dr. Dolores Show, I have a special guest, Petra Braunbauer, who is a nervous system expert. You know, we talk about freeze, flight or fight, and freeze, you know, with our nervous system. And she is going to talk to us more about healing the freeze. So join us next week at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time live on Inspired Choices Network. And, you know, just so you have an idea about who she is, she talks more about the mind-body approaches that we can gently guide ourselves so we could get out of that freeze state. Because I know for me, I'm a freezer. So stay tuned next week and know that you are loved, appreciated, and valued. And most importantly, you are worth it. Take care. See you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. Dr. Dolores returns Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and create your best life. You are worth it.